Hello and welcome to What Are You Saying? Hashtag Ways, where we talk about topics in the news as it affects us all. I am Usaiwame Saleh, and today, yes, I'm alone in studio. Yeah, but I have with me Sandra Eze. Hi, Sanzi, how are you? She's joining us via Zoom. Hello.
Hi, Owa. Hiya.
Yeah, so
Can you hear me, Owa?
I can hear you now. Sanzi, how are you?
I'm uh, I'm very well, thank you. Good evening. I mean, I've expressed the fact that I don't enjoy this Zoom thing. It ain't for me. But somehow, technology will always be technology. Can't replace live presence. So I would rather be in the studio, but I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, it is
And
what
I
it
had a
is.
pretty laid back, laid back, busy day.
Wow,
How
I
was your
can.
day?
Long, but we had a very good day today. I had some very productive meetings, so yeah, we had a good day today.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm loving my
Oh, that's
kimono
lovely.
by my guardian angel, Omolola. She gave me this kimono
Ah.
as my
Yeah, her
birthday
sugar
gift.
mommy. She's your guardian angel. Wow, this relationship.
Yeah, yeah. So today is my
Sugar mommy
producer's
versus guardian angel.
today's my producer's birthday. I didn't know that there's so much November people all around me. Like from the first, I've been saying happy birthday till today. So today is Shola Shari Makin. She calls herself Omoto Shala Shari Makin. It's her birthday today. And she did some kind of,
Oh.
serene surprise in the office. I say, you should come and be my PA because I'm the most boring person ever in this life. You know, to think I don't have any
Abby,
organizational skills
it's
for all
not
those
you.
kind of all those party things. Nah, it's not for me. So I've told her that I'm going to appoint her as my PA. So if I have any celebration, she's going to go henceforth. Sanzi, she went all out. Very lovely packages. There was turkey, there was snails, there
Are
were
you serious?
crabs, there were what was it again? I think I saw sausages, saw rice, I
Like,
saw yam, I saw plantain.
how
I
do
say,
people go all extra for birthday parties?
yeah.
Like,
Some people do
it's
that actually.
exhausting, Owa.
For
When it's
me,
my
yeah.
birthday, I literally want to go and hide because even the phone calls are overwhelming.
For
I
me,
don't know
it
how to
is.
manage it.
For me, it is honestly. But I think when I recognize those gifts in people, I really appreciate it because it's something that I could never do. No, I won't do
Yeah.
it. It's not even in my
Mm-hmm.
place. My sisters,
That's
yes, but
absolutely true.
not me. I'm the wrongest person. So people just see me and they just think, I don't have that. I don't have that strength. But I really appreciate it. So Shola, happy birthday again. All right. So
Yeah.
before we go, make
So again, happy
sure.
birthday, Shala.
Yes, happy birthday, Shola. So remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel is actually growing. So thank you everyone that keeps on subscribing, sharing the links. We are actually growing. I mean, to do like
Thank you.
100 to 200 new subscribers on a weekly basis is just amazing. Thank you so much. And please don't stop there. Watch the videos, like, leave a comment. Just keep it engaged. If you see something that we said on the YouTube page and you don't like it, comment. We'll respond to you. But thank you so much, guys, for supporting the.
Let us know. We're not afraid of clapbacks.
At all, we're not. All right, so today's topic, we want to have a conversation around how to stay mentally fit in Nigeria. I mean, we all know all the drama that is going on in Nigeria. And in all honesty, I have told myself that I would not allow those things weigh me down. I'm just trying to keep my sanity. What I can do, I will do. The one I cannot do, I will not do. I will not come and go and keep myself. Something like that, right? So we want to discuss how to stay mentally fit in Nigeria. And here's what we found as today's quote. It says, your mental health is everything. Prioritize it. So make the time like your life depends on it because it does. This was from Mel Robbins. So when we open our phone lines, we would love to hear your thoughts on this. But first, we would run off on a break to come back to see what we found in today's news. All right, thanks for staying with us. So, National Stress Awareness Day is so apt for the topic for today. Is observed on the first Wednesday in November, which falls on November 6th this year. The day is dedicated to raising awareness about the effects of stress and promoting strategies for managing it effectively in both personal and professional settings. Now, the primary aim of National Stress Awareness Day is to help individuals identify stressors in their lives and understand the impact of stress on their mental health and physical health. Now, chronic stress can lead to significant health issues, including hypertension, heart disease, and decreased immunity. So, by recognizing and addressing these stressors, individuals can improve their overall well being and performance. Now, this day was established in 1998 by the International Stress Management Association, led by Carol Spears. Now, the initiative seeks to educate the public about stress management techniques and to reduce the stigma associated with stress, discussing mental health issues in the workplace. So, I mean, this is just an apt day for the topic that we're having today. Sanzi, how do you distress?
How do I distress? I sleep.
Yeah, way.
I mean, I don't know who. I love the quote by Mel Robbins. I'm a huge fan. I follow her podcast, not religiously, but once in a while, you know. And I'm a huge advocate for sleep. I don't know who lied to us that if you sleep or if you rest, that you are missing out on so much. Or if you sleep on like 5 hours or 4 hours, you should brag about it. Because sincerely speaking, sleep is the best distressor. I mean, there are other things that can distress you, but I enjoy sleeping when I have nothing doing, and I like just strolling out in nature, maybe to read or to just sit down there and think, or to travel. These are things that distresses me.
But another good way for people to distress, sex is good if you can. It's a very great distressor.
Yeah, well, there was that part. I was
just
to
put it out there.
Me, we are not married.
Emma Binu, I'm not trying to put it. I'm not trying to put it in your face, but I'm just saying for the people that have partners that are able, you know, like the one in Guinea, what do they call it, Equatorial Guinea.
I knew you were going there. Oh, I knew you were going there.
That man cannot be stressed in his life. Gonga. Oh my God. All right. So, Sanzi, what did you find for us in the news today?
So in the news, first of all, a big congratulations to Donald Trump. He won the US election. And according to statistics, this has been the most expensive US election. We're talking like billions of dollars went into this particular election. But anyway, so here are dates that will definitely take place before Donald Trump becomes inaugurated officially as the 47th U.S. president. That would be on January 20th, I believe, according to reports. Now, that's weird because, I mean, usually their induction into office happens earlier. But then let's not forget that Trump still has his case going on. And so the long transition just sort of gives them room to put everything in place and in perspective. And so here are the highlights. Since Nigerians, we carry America on top of our head, some guy in the north even did a Donald Trump anthem. Wow. But yeah, so from November 7th, we have certification of states results. That's when it begins. That's from tomorrow. And November 11th, presidential transition briefing starts. From November 26th, Trump's sentencing in hush money case takes place. I mean, now he is the president-elect. I don't see that turning out any other way. I'm pretty sure they're either going to absolve him or I don't know how that's going to turn out. We'll see on November 26th. And then December 11th, state executives will sign certificates of ascertainment. And these documents confirm each state's electoral votes, and they're sent to Congress and the Archivist of the United States. By December 17, there'll be electoral college voting. December 25th, arrival of electoral votes in District of Columbia, Washington. And January 3rd would be the swearing in of new Congress. And January 6th, congressional count of electoral votes. January 20th would be the official inaugural day. Just relevant information we should know in case we want to tie Gilly and go and join Trump. You have enough time to prepare between now and January 20.
Okay. Congratulations to Donald Trump. I mean, a lot of people are, especially a lot of Nigerians, most people are really, really excited about his win. In all honesty, I actually just
Mm-hmm.
kept an open mind with the US elections this year because there was no point, there are just too many agendas flying everywhere. So I don't want to be all caught up emotionally. See, after the 2023 general elections in Nigeria, I've told myself, election matter. I'm not carrying for my head again. No, I won't because I just need to have, you see, that
I know.
one
But do you know
is a stressor for me. So I just want to have my sanity.
elections are stressful?
It's a stressor for me.
But do you know, Owa, that from the demography of people that voted, I was looking at statistics, and you have obviously had more male who voted Trump, but from different categories of demography, we have more female voted Kamala Harris, more Black people, Latino, and Asians voted Kamala Harris. From age demography, between the ages of 18 to 44 voted Kamala Harris, and then 65 and over voted Kamala Harris. The only age bracket that voted Trump, the only age bracket that had more Trump votes was the ages of 45 to 64. And then more college graduates voted Kamala Harris, and non-college degree holders voted more for Donald Trump.
Interesting. But I always I since I don't think the US is ready for a female president, in all honesty. I don't know. It's just my thoughts. I feel they are not ready. All right, let me move on. HIV, malaria top WHO list for urgent vaccines. So a new World Health Organization study published today, Tuesday rather, in eBiomedicine has named 17 pathogens that regularly cause diseases in communities as top priorities for new vaccine development. Now, WHO study is the first global effort to systematically prioritize endemic pathogens based on criteria that included regional disease burden, antimicrobial resistant risk, and socio-economic impact. Now, the study reconfirms long-standing priorities for vaccine research and development, including for HIV, malaria, and tuberculosis. 3 diseases that collectively take nearly 2.5 million lives each year. A study also identifies pathogens such as Group A, Streptococcus, and Klebsiella pneumonia as top disease control priorities in all regions, highlighting the urgency to develop new vaccines for pathogens increasingly resistant to antimicrobial. I just thought to mention that. Then I'll take another story. Just give me 1 second. Yes, of course, this is just to mention the passing of the Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja, the Chief of Army Staff, who passed away Tuesday night. So as the result, the president, had to postpone the FEC meeting over his death. I pray for condolence or our condolence to his family. All right, we'll take a break now. When we come back from that break, let's discuss stress. Stay with us. Nigeria, by extension, Africa, is faced with a lot of challenges.
With the growing youth population and very little engagement.
That is a ticking time bomb.
We're blessed people with a diverse culture who have a lot to say.
And yes, we are talking.
It is important we drive conversations that informs, inspires, and influences thoughts and actions.
If we say there is beauty in diversity, then let us embrace our diverse culture.
We must continue to courageously be the voice of transformation.
As we are the hope for the future,
Yesterday's conversation shaped today.
what are you saying to shape your tomorrow?
We know you have a lot to say, and we are here to hear you. All right, thanks for staying with us. In today's discussion, we're looking deeply at the concerning incident that occurred recently in Lagos. Now, one that not only highlights individual distress, but also reflects broader societal issues. So, on the 5th of November 2024, a commercial bus driver set himself and a Lagos State Traffic Management Authority officer, of course, ablaze. Yeah, set him on fire during a traffic violation arrest. Now, this shocking event has sparked conversations about the mental health crisis many Nigerians are facing amidst ongoing economic challenges. It raises important questions about the psychological impact of economic hardship, systemic corruption, and social discontent in Nigeria. It's crucial to explore how these factors contribute to extreme actions like this one. Now, today we'll discuss the background of the incident, its psychological implications, and what it reveals about the state of mental health support in Nigeria. And of course, joining us for this conversation is the lead clinical psychologist at Encourager Consulting Group, Josephine Omoni, and she has nearly 10 years of experience working with teenagers, young adults, couples, and families, offering them life purpose coaching, care management, and psychotherapy. She also helps people discover their purpose in life and enhance their mental health. Thank you so much for joining us, Josephine. Hello, are you there with me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. All right, so before I come back to you, Josephine, let me just hear, Sanzi, your initial thoughts. I mean, when you saw that video, me, I was scared. I say, hey, has it gotten to this? Because again, I'm just thinking in my head, the man would have been thinking, if they impound my bus, what would happen, how much I would pay. In fact, you know what? Let us scatter everywhere. When I saw that video, I was really, really taken aback, like, it has gotten to this in this country. So you tell me, what was your initial thought, Sanzi, when you saw that video?
When I saw the video, initially I was angry with the bus driver. I was like, come on, man, you're doing your job and this official is also doing his job. So there is nothing he has done to merit this. But again, looking at it from a more human angle and from a more empathetic angle, that got me thinking from your perspective right now that, listen, this man probably may have weighed this may be the only source of income that he has. And we all know how these people, when they arrest you or when they impound your vehicle, it's as good as wave it goodbye if you do not have the money to rescue it from their grip or from their office or from their garage. So I'm thinking maybe perhaps this is a man who has been mentally stressed. We do not know his state of health. And at the moment, even though his reaction or how he handled the case is completely inhuman, but I would definitely say that there is some mental thing going on up there. Perhaps he was just so stressed, he had foggy thoughts, and he just didn't know what else to do except, okay, let's push it to the extreme. Since you refuse to be merciful, they're not going to be merciful as well. Let's both die. So I imagine that's probably the thought process going on in his mind. Either that or he's just straight up cruel.
Okay, Josephine, let me come back to you. So when you saw that video, I want to hear your initial thoughts then before we then dive into, how to stay mentally fit in Nigeria. What were your initial thoughts when you saw the video? Yes, that's if you've seen it, I'm assuming.
Yeah, so I totally agree with what Sandra said. So it's two ways. So it's either it's been a lot of accumulated stress, and then this has happened. I don't want to get caught. If I have to, impound they have to take my bus and all of that. So I just have to do something that would, scare everyone, and then I'll run away. Or maybe he does have maybe some antisocial, personalities, right? But we can't really say, okay, why would he do what he had to do? But definitely something is up. And then, it's really sad, really, because he was wrong, to be honest, for him to have, which Nigerian, transport person obeys traffic rules, right? So he was wrong, but he would have just, okay, Organovis, I messed up. But he wasn't able to calm down and think like that, right? He had to look for some other disastrous way to do that. So yeah.
No, but so when you say this, right, Nigeria has always been a place where it seems like anybody that has the capacity to do crazy things, you just get away with things. Because we've seen this thing play out. I mean, what he did, of course, is an extreme, adding fire to it. But I have seen cases where something is going on and the person will just, break the bottle and say, you know what, let us, because that's the, I feel like we've gotten to that point where that is the language people understand, right? So most times, if I do not approach this violently, people might never get the point. So I would rather do that. And I mean, that's what I saw play out, right? And when you talk about violation of traffic rules, I mean, we've always said it. You and I that have our own private vehicles that we drive on the roads in Nigeria, we've said it several times. It's like the laws that apply to us as private owners of vehicles. It's like it doesn't apply to these what's it called? This commercial buses, because over the years, you as traffic controllers and traffic officers and all of that in authority, you have also accommodated the nuances that these guys have always been doing, right? So, I mean, you created that environment where it seems like, okay, they do it. On Lekki-Epe Expressway, for an example, right, most of these guys that go to collect the revenue, or the thugs that go to collect the revenue, most of them are just crazy. So when the bus driver, when he sees them coming, he's already agitated. So most of the buses, you see that they've taken out all their side mirrors. Why? Because usually when they approach them and they don't give them that money, the next thing is that they'll probably, break their side mirrors or what. So the bus drivers themselves, they've removed everything that you want to. So there's nothing you want to take. So when they are coming, you can already see the tension that is coming. So if we continue to have this charged environment, how do we start to maintain sanity in Nigeria? Because we have to find a way to also reduce the madness. Go ahead, Josephine.
Yeah, so to be very honest, there are certain things that are wrong but are now normal. They look like they are normal, they've been normalized, right? And there are certain things that they are normal, they are right, but they look wrong. So what can we do as individuals? We need to accept the fact that there are certain things that are not going on right. Okay, so the fact that things are not going on right doesn't mean I have to do them. Okay, and yes, everything is tense, everything is very, very stressed at this time. But question is, what are the things I can do to avoid such situations? Okay, how can I express myself in a way that I will still be in control? Because to be very honest, what happened there was he lost control. So in as much as, yes, it seems like Nigeria is only understanding violence and all of that, but how can I still be in control of my emotions at this time? Because that's how we can stay mentally fit, to still maintain composure in any, overwhelming situation.
Sansi, let me come to you.
I mean, I do. I worry sometimes if it is the LASMA officials who allowed this to get to this level, because if you're conversant with the roads in Lagos, you would see that usually at traffic stops, the bus conductors, the bus drivers, they don't observe traffic laws. So the traffic light is on red, they'll just speed past. And it's not, and right now I think there are still of them who regulate them. There are the ones wearing the gray uniforms, there is road safety, there is LASMA official, there are the ones who wear green and white that is somewhere there, whether it's their tax collector or so. So there's like a whole set of people regulate on the road, regulating traffic, whether it's for private cars or for bus conductors. But I think that by the time you've given these people such free hand, such that they break traffic laws and it's okay, and so now wants to come and catch one and use that one as scapegoat, chances that nobody ever wants to be a scapegoat. But then another thing is, how do we put it in check? Because the fact that a bus driver can do this is the person who is responsible for transporting lives every day. So if perhaps this one set himself and the last official on fire, another person could say, okay, in the process of trying to avoid, perhaps they beat traffic lights, and maybe one of these officials are chasing them, trying to tell them, okay, you beat the traffic light, and they are carrying passengers. So when they start this road race, or I'm trying to avoid this person, and then they have an accident, what exactly happens? So I don't know if there is a way to regulate these drivers and their thought process, or if there's a way to at least gauge their level of stress, because frankly speaking, Josephine, Nigerians are stressed. The economic stress, the inflation, the low purchase ability, just a lot of things are stressing Nigerians out. So how do we work with these drivers? Because me, yeah, I don't take public transit, but my siblings take it, my family. So it's scary right now, honestly.
Yeah, Josephine, you want to come in?
Yes, so to be honest, it is scary, it is worrisome, and that's why we need to continue having conversations like this. Because if you mention mental health, you're like, no, I don't have a problem, I'm not mad, I'm not crazy. All right. So the more we have conversations like this, the more we just let people know that there's a way we need to handle this stress. There's a way we need to handle what's going on in the economy. There's a way we need to handle what's happening in the world without burning out, without harming ourselves or harming people. And it's also very important that we know that being mentally fit or improving our mental health is not just one thing. There are a lot of things that we need to do all together. So are we, like I mentioned, are we avoiding situations? Are we making sure that, what is within my control? Can I do it right? Okay, if yes, all bus drivers don't obey traffic light, but as a bus driver, can I do what is right? All right. Or if I notice that, I'm really upset and I felt like, this person, this last man or this policeman wants to extort money from me, how can I calm the situation? I've been in avenues where, the Okada driver say, I don't get money, I don't get money, I beg, maybe I go and come back. Do you understand? Because I just don't want to lose it. Because if we are not careful, we will lose it. Right. So we need to, one, let's avoid. So what are those triggering people or triggering places? Some people say, Josephine, I don't listen to news because it's too triggering. All right. So, okay. Two, can we accept that, yeah, this is a stressful situation? I have the tendency to, go overboard. That's why I need to put myself in check. All right. And then there's also the adapting. How can I express myself? So take, for example, if the bus driver had done that, could he have told maybe a passenger or Mercedes people who have been in situations where a bus driver is just lamenting? They're just lamenting, just a way for them to offload. That's also another way, right, to just make the situation a little bit better. And then, of course, changing their thoughts about, okay, how can I look at it in a better way? Okay, maybe they are trying to make things right now, even though it seems like an impossible task. So just basically looking for ways we can stay in control of our emotions, of our thoughts, and then of our behavior is what we can do to stay mentally fit in Nigeria.
Okay, Josephine, I wanted to say that it's easier said than done, because I think Lagos is actually peculiar.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Lagos is peculiar because I feel like a lot of people that relocated from Lagos to Abuja, for instance, they say that they are experiencing so much sanity and peace. You understand that they never want to have anything to do with anybody in Lagos, or their work. They are telling them, please leave me in Abuja. But let's take a break, right? When we come back from that break, I want us to be very, very practical on how we can, intentionally keep ourselves mentally fit in Nigeria amidst all the chaos happening. Stay with us.
Nigeria, by extension, Africa, is faced with a lot of challenges.
With the growing youth population and very little engagement.
That is a ticking time bomb.
We're blessed people with a diverse culture who have a lot to say.
And yes, we are talking.
It is important we drive conversations that informs, inspires, and influences thoughts and actions.
If we say there is beauty in diversity, then let us embrace our diverse culture.
We must continue to courageously be the voice of transformation.
As we are the hope for the future,
Yesterday's conversation shaped today.
What are you saying to shape your tomorrow?
We know you have a lot to say, and we are here to hear you.
All right, thanks for staying with us. Now, if you just tuned in, we're having a conversation, of course, about the recent incident in Lagos about a commercial bus driver who set himself and a Lagos State Traffic Management Authority officer ablaze, right, during a traffic violation arrest. A shocking event that had, of course, sparked conversations about mental health and wellness, and of course, how most Nigerians are facing this same mental health challenges and crisis, right, amidst the economic hardship. And we still have with us Josephine Omoni. She's a lead clinical psychologist at Encourager Consulting Group. Please, you can join this conversation. Let's hear what you have to say by joining us via SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. You can also call our phone lines. The numbers to call are 07025 007749 or 07014242420. Remember, when you call, please turn off the volume of whatever device it is that you are going to be, watching us from. All right, so Josephine, before we went on the break, I talked about the, practicality of some of the things you said. Because you say it's just, you just have to, when you were saying it, I said it's easier said than done. Because again, there's a unique nature in Lagos, especially, right? I have planned my day. So there was a day I had planned everything. I woke up early. I wanted to leave. My house to my office is literally 20 minutes, right? If there is no traffic. And I come out of the house and there's this the mad traffic was just a lot. Between just coming out from my house to even just make a U-turn to start to head towards VI, where the office is located, I spent like an hour, 30 minutes on a standstill position. Then you then turn and everything. It was just crazy. Like for a 20 minutes drive, I ended up spending 5 hours, 30 minutes, right? For a 20 minutes drive. That was not planned, right? So it is. So I'm trying to paint a picture here, why you see that there's a lot of tension. Even with these bus drivers, most of them at the early hours of the morning, you see them with all those. In fact, that was why NAFDAC at some point, I was happy when they said they wanted to ban all those sachet drinks. But again, it doesn't really stop anything because I can easily just get a bottle and, be taking the sip one after the other. But a lot of them are high on substances. This is not just, again, it has gone beyond alcohol. A lot of drug abuse that is happening amongst people is on the rise, just because people are just finding ways to want to manage, the pressure that is coming with, everything coming at you, right? You're earning a salary and you're not able to look at that salary and plan towards it. Because if you say you want to plan towards the salary, we slept. Price of petrol was 149. We woke up, it was 300. We woke up again, it was 600. We woke up again, it's now 1,120 that I bought today. Just imagine all of these uncertainties. So it will keep somebody perpetually anxious. So when you say that, you have to make up your mind to stay calm amidst all of these things, it is easy for you and I to do that. But the common man and the average man on the street, right, they don't know. And I think that's where there was a video that went viral many years ago where the guy was just tired and he set himself ablaze and he died. Remember that video? It was one of these protests that happened. I can't remember which country now it was. But that is what you see when you see that somebody has gotten to that point where there's the threshold, he has reached the limits. So how do we practically, right, stay fit mentally amidst all of these things?
Yeah, thank you so much. So, yes, I do understand, what you're saying. And it's also important, like I said, that we continue having these conversations, okay? So being calm doesn't necessarily mean, oh, you'll not be upset. I'm not saying being mentally fit does not mean you will not be upset. Doesn't mean that you will not be afraid, you will not be anxious. There are certain times we will be, right? Christmas is coming, January is coming, school fees, all of those things can make us worry, right? But what is our response to it is what I'm trying to explain, that we need to intentionally, it's not easy, because it's easier to, let me just take a bottle, or let me just smoke it out so I just feel calm, than to say, let me talk to someone or go for a walk, right? But those are healthier ways of staying fit mentally, right? So the first thing I would say is being self-aware. So take for the example you gave, right? Going to work and then all of that happened. I would be upset. I'll tell myself, in fact, Josephine, is either I'm saying there's no work today, or I will just do something. Maybe I would plug in music as I'm going in the car, or just look for a way to calm the situation, because there's nothing I can do about the traffic. So understanding myself, understanding the way I think and the way I respond would help me keep myself in check. So that's something that I would say. Improving our level of self-awareness daily. Okay, what's going to happen today? And knowing that anything can happen, but am I prepared for it? As opposed to always, acting from a point of self-pity, or why is this happening to me? Then we can ask us, okay, what can I do about the situation? Okay, and then not feeling, or not just understanding our bodies. I would also say that understanding our bodies, when our body says, okay, it's time for me to rest. Because like you mentioned, these bus drivers, if you look at their schedules, or people who work, they have very little time to rest. All right, they are getting home really late.
That's true.
They are getting up really, really early. There's no way their minds will be, calm. All right, so in as much as we need to make this money to survive, to be honest, but we also need to take care of the body that needs to do all of this work. So as we take care of our body, as we're making sure, okay, am I eating right? Am I, doing some exercise? Am I listening to my body? Then we'll be able to stay mentally fit. Some people say, okay, yes, I work in Lagos, I have to wake up at 4 a.m. and leave. Okay, so during those times, can you make sure you're eating healthy? Can you buy, as opposed to taking maybe a fizzy drink, can I take fresh juice instead? Because yes, I can't do anything about my busy schedule now, but how can I make sure that I'm maintaining some level of equilibrium during all of that? So we are practicing self-awareness, understanding that I can get overwhelmed with such situation, but what is my response to it? I choose not to come from a point of pity or complain, because all the complaining we've been doing, has it solved anything? No. But I choose to stay afloat, all right? Listening to our bodies, making sure that we are eating right, no matter how little it will be. Yes, money is not enough, but instead of buying that large snack, can I buy a fruit instead? Even if it's those are bulky cuts. Because there are always options for us to look out for. But because, it can be overwhelming, we look for the easier option. Okay, asking for help is also another way to stay mentally fit. If you know you need help, speak up, right? There's nothing wrong with speaking up. I'm sorry, I can't do it. Can you help me with this? I'm a little bit overwhelmed. I'm a little bit upset right now. Could you help me with it? That's also another way. Asking for help. All right, connecting with the right people is also another good way. Do we have a community of people that we can just go to and relax? Then you would know, I'm not the only one facing this issue, right? So if Sandra is facing this issue and Sandra has told me how she came out of it, I can do that. But most times as Nigerians, we feel I'm the only one with this problem, so I have to figure it out by myself. Let's look for groups. Is it in our religious organizations or in our workplaces that we can just gather? How are you doing? How are you coping? Or it could even be your neighborhood. I know we say we're communal people, but let's use it for our own advantage in Nigeria to stay mentally fit. Thank you.
Okay, good. Sanzi, let me come to you.
Well, Josephine, I have...
Yeah,
I do have a question. I mean, I like the practical steps that you have given on how to handle the mental challenges that we have right now, and how beyond just giving excuses of your schedule and the demands of work and the demands of living in a big commercial city like Lagos, how you can take care of your health, take care of your, the food you eat, your health, eat more veggies and healthy meals. But let's say for someone who maybe have tried that, or perhaps for this average bus driver who, I don't know how much I don't know if he's even in the situation where he's even aware of it, or perhaps he has done that, but he needs to go the extra mile, and that would be for going for therapy and stuff like that. I'm curious because you're psychologists and therapists, you all work together, and let's just be honest, here is an environment where maybe up until recently we don't really prioritize the need for therapy or seeing a psychologist or mental evaluation. So I'm thinking, is there a way that perhaps we can create a cheaper budget for these people, or just make psychology and mental assessment and therapy more accessible to Nigerians? Because this is a bus driver today. Tomorrow it could just be another staff in an office where you're just stressed out, you have this crazy deadline, and perhaps you just finished a job, and your boss again, who is completely stressed out, tells you, what do you mean? I don't like this, go and do it again. And now this is a stressed boss versus a stressed staff, and something could happen. It could be a fight, it could be a stab wound, or something could happen. So how do we make therapy more accessible for Nigerians, such that it becomes more attractive, so more people can assess it or go for evaluation?
Yeah. So from conversations like this, people, because we try to normalize issues like this, we try to normalize mental health challenges, all right? And then I must say there are certain, private organizations, NGOs that do a lot of free psychosocial counseling, not therapy now, but psychosocial first aid or psychological first aid, if I could use that word, and it's free. Okay, it's free, but we've noticed that people don't show up, people don't sign up. So it's still down to normalizing asking for help, normalizing seeking help. I'm on a couple of platforms that we offer free counseling, but people don't show up. They're like, no, I'm okay, just give me money and I'll be fine. But we know that's not the issue, right? So let's normalize these conversations. If you see a colleague that is down, I have someone I can talk to. I know someone you can talk. There's Lagos Mind, there's Psych Babble you can talk to, and it's free. And then when they engage, 2 sessions, they're feeling fine. I would like to pay more, because sometimes they feel like, I don't have a feeling of it. I'll not be sitting and telling someone my problem. No, therapy is much more than that, right? So we have, of course, it's not enough, but there are certain, free NGOs that offer free counseling services, and then the more we normalize such conversations, the more we, take them to such places, and most of them are online. Okay, you don't need to move to any location to have these counseling services. And then when we normalize conversations, we encourage them. I know someone that went to therapy and they're doing well. I've gone to therapy myself and I'm doing fine. Then it will be easier for people to seek help.
I get you. Okay,
thank you.
I like the idea.
I think another thing is people are scared, trust issues.
Yeah, because people don't want to open up and then end up, hearing their gist on Instablog or
as a story.
or just lover. But I was gonna ask you, we are a small organization, right? When you say this free services, because I don't mind having, those kinds of sessions for my staff within the company. Even myself, sometimes I just wonder how I do it, because again, I've been through a lot of training that helped because again, this is, you need to be mentally dogged, right? There has to be some level of very, very strong-willed tenacity. I mean, you must build those very, very strong sense of, I have to keep going no matter what the situation is, that positivity and all of that. So maybe because I've been through all those trainings, right? Because the things that normally would weigh people down don't weigh me down, right? Instead, those things are even drivers to push me to even want to do more. I mean, there's really nothing that I've not really been through in terms of being out, down, everything, all of them, but somehow I'm able to manage and get myself out of it. However, these same issues that probably I have been through, maybe because I'm not into substances, maybe alcohol, drugs, or whatever it is, maybe that's why I'm able to kind of, rise above it and shift that energy towards something productive and positive. That's not the case right now in Nigeria, right? Because the reports by different NGOs and all of that will tell you that there's a high rise of drug use and abuse in Nigeria, right, currently. So for the people that this is it, this is what it is that they are facing, and maybe they are just at that verge of maybe, okay, somebody is trying to get them to start to take, because they tell you that things like cannabis, for instance, helps to keep them calm, right? They tell you that. So that is their justification. So you see a lot of young girls vaping, you see them taking alcohol, shisha, all of those things, right? So how do we market the therapy that speaking to someone brings, right? Because I feel like counseling is underrated. People don't understand the effectiveness or the power of just unburdening your feelings and just talking to someone, right? Thankfully, I'm blessed to have sisters that anytime I'm feeling tensed, I just call them and we talk for hours. It's very therapeutic for me. But not many people have that luxury, because I call it luxury now, right? So how do we market, the option of these free platforms that you've talked about to those people, and maybe they start to intentionally, and how do we start to get these kinds of free platforms into small pockets of organizations, so it's easier, for us to start having more healthier people?
Okay, so the marketing will start from you and I. Okay, so give you an example, like I say it, I'm a therapist and I've been in therapy, right? I have a community of colleagues that when it's just the issue that coming too much, I just go to them and then I onboard it, right? So letting people know that I have gone through this and it's okay, right? It's okay to actually open up an onboarding. So you could even give the analogy of a bottle of water. If I just keep on, pouring water, it would overflow beyond the capacity. And that's how our minds are sometimes. And that's why we have emotional outbursts. We have people doing, if it's not drugs, people are, spending excessively. People are having behavioral addictions because they don't know how to cope, right? So just letting them know that there's a level, there's a capacity our bodies can take, and then offloading can actually help, okay? And then, the other question that you asked in terms of how can we, have these organizations that are offering free counseling to organizations. Like I said, it's something that's just starting, right? And that's why we try to speak to the government. We try to work with, people up there, because even though it's free, someone is paying for it, okay? So if you can afford it, instead of buying that bottle, of X wine, just pay, all right? And then if you can't, then you can access, the free one, right? So that's just what I would say. Marketing starts from you and I. If you notice anyone that's feeling a bit down, have you been to Mani? Have you been to Lagos Mine? Have you been to Psych Babble? Experience it, it's good, right? And then if you have an organization, invite us, for a training, and then you see the effects. Definitely, you see the effects. The productivity will increase, because employee assistance programs, we keep on talking about it. Human beings have physical health and mental health. And if you want someone to do something for you as an employee, they need to be stable, right? So organizations should also invest in the mental health of their employees, in the mental health of people that are working for them, and they will see the results.
I like what you've just said. The employee, you call the program employee
assistance programs. Assistance programs.
So Josephine,
yes. So that's where
Go ahead.
Okay, so that's when mental health professionals go into organizations to teach, to train how to deal with workplace stress, how to deal with toxic environments, how to deal with family is happening and I don't have to balance it with work, how to deal with all of those things. That's what we do in employee assistance programs. Okay. We equip employees, we equip employers how to make the right decisions, even in such overwhelming situations. So it exists.
Awesome. I was going to come, Constantia, I'll come to you quickly, but I wanted to say that, Josephine, is there anything as too far gone to remedy? Because I know some people that have gone through some of these things, they are now heavily in those addictions and all of those things. How do they even come out of it? Like the thing has gotten to them. Is there any such thing as too far to remedy, or there's really hope, for those kinds of people?
I wouldn't say there's anything like too far gone. The time period may be longer, okay, depending on how long the person has been there, right? But I usually say mental health is not just a one-person thing. So even if I'm your therapist, I have a role to play. You have a role to play. Your family, your community has a role to play. You can't say, oh, you're fighting with a drug problem and then you're having friends that are smoking. It's going to make the progress delayed, right? Even if someone has been far gone, how can we take the person out of such an environment, put him in a more stable environment, and then start teaching skills that would help the person to cope? Because to be very honest, going into drugs is a symptom. There's a reason why the person is going into drugs. It's not because the person wants to smoke or drink, right? There's something that person is trying to cope with. It could be low self-esteem, it could be shyness, it could be trauma. So when we're able to deal with those things, isolating the drug or isolating the substance, some people is even internet, some people is shopping. Once we're able to isolate all of those things and deal with the underlying problems, there'll be progress. But it could take a long period of time depending on how far along the person has gone. But I don't think there's anyone that's too bad for recovery.
All right. So let me take Loma. Good evening, Loma. Loma is our therapeutic guest. Thank you for calling.
This particular topic you find how to stay mentally fit in Nigeria. See, my own, what our present politicians have dragged us into can make somebody to run mad. So how to stay mentally fit is to take our faith with philosophical calmness. Because if you think about how you can solve problems in your family, we have to get this and that to make sure the family continue moving on. Before you know it, one can go insane. So our politicians, they are enjoying, they are rejoicing, and making other Nigerians to live in pain and pain. So it's for us, like I said before, to take our faith with philosophical calmness and pray to God to deliver us from the hand of wicked rulers. Because if you don't take time, high blood pressure, depression, everything will set in. So it's just to make sure you add happiness to your life. Make sure anything you see in a day, take it that way. But if you live in thinking, what will I do? What will I do? Before you know it, one will run mad. I pray God will deliver us from that leader. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Loma. Unfortunately, we ran out of time. But quickly, Josephine, let me give you the last word. Sanzi, unfortunately, I can't come back to you. Josephine, you want to throw in your last words to anyone listening?
Yes, so I totally believe that we Nigerians were resilient people, all right? So let's keep on doing the best that we can. And when we need to stop and just do nothing, I think it's totally okay to do nothing and just rest, okay? When we need to ask for help, let's do that. And then when we see that it's becoming really overwhelming, let's step out a bit. And then, people would say, step out and smell the roses.
All right. Thank you so much. Josephine, I think we had an amazing time. We'll keep this a constant, with the conversation. It's very important that we, keep helping ourselves because, again, I believe this show would have been therapeutic for someone that is watching and going through. And please remember that you're not alone. We're all facing this pressure. We're all facing this burden. If it's really, really, Josephine, you can always reach out to us. We'll get her across to you. But thank you so much, Josephine, and thank you, Sanzi. Before we go, ensure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you for subscribing and sharing the links. Remember to share this particular link to someone you know that might need it, that is going through a lot, right? Share this link to that person. We are here to help people. All right, so please follow us across all our social media handles and continue to like, share, and invite your families and friends to watch and follow. If you missed our quote from Mel Robbins, it says, "Your mental health is everything. Prioritize it. Make the time like your life depends on it, because it does." We'll see you guys tomorrow at 8 p.m. as we bring another great conversation to your screen. Ciao.